Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. So I'm sure by now, I don't know if you guys have seen the story that's kind of like blowing up all over social media. About 77 Nigerians were recently arrested by the FBI for internet fraud, romance fraud, amongst other things. This is blowing up. So according to report, the relationship between a Japanese woman and a US Army captain stationed in Syria started online through an international social network for digital pen pals, and it grew into an internet romance over 10 months of daily emails. It ended with the woman $200,000 poorer and on the verge of bankruptcy after borrowing money from her sister, ex-husband, and friends to help Captain Terry Garcia with his plans to smuggle diamonds out of Syria. However, in reality, there were no diamonds and there was no Captain Garcia. They were part of an elaborate scam hatched by an international ring of cyber thieves operating mainly out of Los Angeles and Lagos. Federal authorities cited the case of the Japanese woman known only as FK in court papers on Thursday when they announced an indictment charging 80 people with stealing at least $46 million through various schemes that targeted businesses, the elderly, and anyone susceptible to a romance scam. The investigation began in 2016 with a single bank account and a victim, said Paul Delacote, assistant director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles office. It grew to encompass victims who were targeted in the US and around the world, some of whom, like the Japanese woman, lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. According to report, FK, the Japanese woman, was and is extremely depressed and angry about these losses. She began crying when discussing the way that these losses have affected her. Her relationship began innocently in March of 2016 with an email, but soon Garcia made romantic overtures. According to federal authorities, he told her that they could not talk by phone because he wasn't allowed to use phone in Syria. So a stream of emails went back and forth, with her using Google to translate his English into Japanese. A month into the relationship, Garcia told her that he had found a bag of diamonds in Syria, and he began introducing her to his associates, starting with a Red Cross representative who told her Garcia had been injured but had given him the box of diamonds to hold for him. So FK, the Japanese lady, ultimately made 35 to 40 payments, receiving as many as 10 to 15 emails a day, directing her to send the money to associates in the US, Turkey, and the United Kingdom through the captain's many purported associates. The fraudsters even threatened her with arrest if she did not continue to pay, and at one point she traveled to Los Angeles because she was told a Russian bank manager had embezzled more than $33,000 of her funds. Authorities arrested 14 defendants on Thursday, most in the Los Angeles area. FBI agents could be seen processing suspects in a downtown Los Angeles parking lot before they were arraigned in a federal court. It was not immediately known if they had attorneys who could speak on their behalf. 2 suspects were previously in custody and a few others were arrested earlier this week. They all face charges of conspiracy to commit fraud, conspiracy to launder money, and aggravated identity theft, and some are charged with additional offenses for alleged fraud and money laundering. So this is obviously a very serious situation, and one of the reasons why this is going viral is because it just further perpetuates the stereotypes about Nigeria, the negative implication of this affecting us, especially the law-abiding ones, and yes, it has negative implications on us, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to delude yourself into believing that people aren't looking at us sideways when stories like this hit social media. Then be my guest, be delusional. Believe that no, people are not going to judge you based on your country when stories like this come up. But the reality of the situation is, it does affect us. It does affect how people deal with us on a regular basis. About 20 years ago, Nigerians living in America held a protest, I think for weeks and weeks and weeks, because they were being discriminated against. Nigerians were being rejected for employment in the banking sector in America. And it just didn't matter how qualified you are, you just won't get the job on account of where you're from, especially if your place of birth states Nigeria, or if you have a Nigerian sounding name, you just won't get the job. This was real back then. And this was like really, really serious back then. Like I said, if you had a Nigerian sounding name or your place of birth says you're from Nigeria, you won't get the job. And it became a pattern that a lot of people started to notice. And around that time, there were lots and lots of documentary detailing how Nigerian fraud was really emerging and everything. And it was such an embarrassing thing to be a Nigerian around that time, because people will watch these documentaries and then they will come to work, especially people that you work with. They will come to work and start looking at you like, okay, did you watch the documentary yesterday? Or what do you think about the documentary yesterday? Is it true what they say about Nigerians? Or if you have crazy co-workers who are like really, really crazy, they'll flat out ask you straight to your face, are you anything like them? Are you anything like your Nigerian brothers and sisters? Should I be worried about you? It is bad. Should I be cautious about you? It was so bad around that time. It was really, really bad. And back then, we didn't even have the internet the way we do now. Now the situation, anything happened and it's all over social media, and people are just basically making up their minds on social media and coming to conclusions on social media. And the ironic thing about this is that Nigerian fraudsters only make up around 1% of the global cybercrime ring. 1%. Just think about that. And they are not even that sophisticated. I don't know if you guys have come across any one of those emails. They do send it to me once in a while, and I will just read them and I will laugh. I laugh because I'm imagining, is this all it takes for you guys to like defraud someone? Is this all it takes, or is there any kind of backhand work going on? Because it just doesn't make sense to me. But I guess that's all it takes for some people to be convinced and just fork out all of their hard-earned money to a complete stranger on social media or online. And another thing is that Nigeria is not even at the top 50 list of countries engaged in criminal activities compared to major countries like the US, China, Russia, UK, Japan, India, Mexico, Sweden, and others. And these countries carry out their crimes with way more sophistication compared to how Nigerians do it. So it boggles my mind that the media is so fixated on, just making Nigeria the scapegoat. But as bad as this story is, and as bad as this situation, what's even worse is the divisive sentiment that this has once again stirred up. Earlier today, Sahara reporters released the names of the defendants, and most of them are Nigerians, and I believe 72 of them are from Igbos, or at least they have Igbo names, with one or two having Yoruba names, or should I say Yoruba sounding names. You can just imagine what this piece of information is doing to people, and how this story is once again dividing Nigeria across tribal lines. I mean, it's awful. It's just awful. Just take a look at some of the comments being left under the post that Sahara reporters shared on their website. So you guys just saw that. I mean, if I'm to be honest, I kind of understand both sides. Even I, as an adult person, I would post stories here about maybe an Igbo person doing something, and then I will get immediately bombarded by people, especially Igbos. And you guys know, my Igbo fans, my Igbo supporters, I love you guys. You guys ride with me, and I appreciate you guys. And this does not apply to you guys at all. But I will post some things, and then some random Igbo person will come, and start posting things on my channel, insulting me, just bombarding me with insults, telling me to keep Igbo names out of my mouth, that I should instead focus on my sisters who are doing Ashawo in Italy, and that I should mind my business, just posting some random deflective BS on the comment section, telling me what I should do or what I shouldn't do. So I want to say that I understand people saying, oh, Sahara reporters, correct yourself, these are Biafrans, these are non-Nigerians, because I have read comments on maybe when something amazing happens, when an Igbo person does something amazing, and the Igbo will come and be like, no, they are not Nigerians, they are Biafrans or whatever. So, and then I understand these people telling them, keep the same energy. You can't only claim them when they do something positive. Be sure to claim them as well when it's something negative. Be sure to claim them as well when it's something that doesn't bring pride to your tribe. Claim them as Biafrans as well. So I understand, but I want to say this, at the end of the day, until Nigeria divides, until whatever happens, we are all Nigerians. When something happens, if it's something good, let's all celebrate Nigeria as a country. If it's something bad, there is no need for us to start saying, oh, they are Biafrans, they are no longer Nigerians. No, they are Nigerians. And yeah, it's crazy. We should be embarrassed for the way these people are disgracing us. Instead of promoting divisiveness, we shouldn't be doing this. This does not help anyone. So my thing is this, we should be more focused on how to move Nigeria forward positively, how to impact Nigeria positively, as opposed to worrying ourselves about stupid things like who's Biafra or who's Oduduwa or whatever else you guys are claiming. So this is bad. We are all in this together. We should all be in this together. And I just wanted to post this out there. And as for the so-called victims of this crime, i.e. the Japanese woman and her family and friends or whatever, I hardly feel any kind of sympathy for them. In fact, I have zero sympathy for them. They knew exactly what they were going into. They were willing participants in this crime. They were willing to aid and abet the looting of the natural resources of a war-torn country to line their own pockets. And I find it so hypocritical the way the media as well as the investigation agencies have conveniently ignored these things. They have conveniently ignored that these people were willing to participate in a crime. They were willing to loot from a country that is currently going through war, country that is going through hardship. So what does that make them? In my opinion, they should be standing next to these Nigerian fraudsters because they are just as guilty in the meantime, take a look at the names of the alleged Nigerian fraudsters. This list was first posted to Sahara Reporters, or at least I first saw them on Sahara Reporters, and I will be back. So you guys just saw that. Yeah, anyway, this one I'm going to end this, you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave your thoughts. How are you feeling about this? Do you feel like these people are giving you a bad name, giving your country a bad name, or do you feel so disconnected from them that it does not matter to you what they do, because you're not affected by it? Do you think that people who are non-Nigerians treat you differently each time a story comes up about a so-called Nigerian fraud, or do you feel indifferent about it, or do your friends who are non-Nigerians feel indifferent about it? Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Ciao guys. Mwah.